What's up, guys? It's D-Rex here. Gonna give you the week in review as a video. I'm actually gonna moving forward, intersperse some write-ups some weeks for the week in review, and then doing a video in others. Trying to get our mojo back rolling on our YouTube channel, and with our website redesign that'll be coming sometime later this year. We want to be integrating as much original content in the video format as possible. So, week in review, week 2, kind of a wild one. There's no question that there's been a lot of things that have happened that no one would have expected, especially the quarterbacks being the top guys, the Bradys, the Breezes, the Aaron Rodgers, those guys, they're just absolutely not doing it up. Stafford, they're not living up to the hype. You know, we've been telling you, as we mentioned on our podcast that I posted earlier today, they're just not living up to the first round billing that everyone's been giving them and talking them and where they went. So we won't worry too much. We're not telling you to jump off ship too fast or anything. You know, it is 2 weeks, but it does seem like a lot of those guys are going to definitely perform. I mean, they're less than they did last year. Anyway, first thing I want to mention in the last week, a legend. We lost a legend in Steve Sable, and he died because of he had a brain cancer. 69 years old, a couple weeks away from turning 70. We know how instrumental that guy has been in changing the way that we view sports. I mean, he's literally the Stanley Kubrick of sports viewing on any media. The way that he approached trying to capture the game, the NFL legend, was nothing short of artistic. And him and his father, started NFL Films, but he really took the torch and even took it up to another level. Look at where the NFL is right now. The NFL Network, that was the first network, that was the first professional league to have their own network. The NFL Package, the way they've been able to market and do that, the way that now they've got NFL Rewind, where you can watch from 20 different angles. You can see these games from like 22 different cameras, watch them in real time, every play. It's like being literally watching the game film like they would in any, war room in an NFL team. It's insane. And the way that that's come to fruition in all sports, and this goes into baseball and everything, is through the true craftsmanship and amazing effort and pioneering, passion for capturing such an amazing game, the NFL, and such amazing games with playoffs, Super Bowl, and just going all the way back. And these guys just created so much amazing content, and really the NFL is indebted to them in a way that I don't think anyone will basically ever be able to comprehend. I don't see another person coming in and changing the way things happen within an unbelievable sport the way that the Sables did for the NFL, and it's unbelievable. So we'll see. Ed went into the Canton a couple of years ago, and Steve was able to be there to present it with him, which was awesome. And now I figure, I don't know how long they'll have to wait. Probably not to 5 years like after retiring, but maybe so. Steve Sable will be in the NFL Hall of Fame, and rightfully so. Very, very sad situation. Anyway, one thing I wanted to mention in this week in review is also do a little bit of promotion for Pyro. I'm trying to drive you guys to other vehicles and pieces of content that we're delivering on a weekly basis, and we just joined Pinterest, and we're kind of having fun over there. It's a slow crawl. I don't want to just bombard that thing in one punch and then walk away from it. So we're slowly building. It's obviously geared around a lot of our graphics on Pyromaniac.com, geared around awesome stuff that I do on the side, things like design, things like interior decorating, things that I love, other passions of mine, cars, the 70s, rock and roll, just weird, eclectic fashion, whatnot, film, TV, all this great stuff. We're going to bring to life through Pyromaniac on Pinterest. So check that out. I got to promote it a little bit and get a Pinterest logo on our site. But check out as we keep building that up, and it'll be more and more. I think you guys will have fun just tooling around in there and seeing the weird stuff and the interesting stuff and the great graphics and the great content that we're doing on Pyro intermingled with stuff that has nothing to do with Pyromaniac. So that would be cool if you check it out. And then also check it out on Twitter. I put all my thoughts, all these interesting NFL people that we follow, and all the interesting stories, both current and old, and some that have nothing to do with sports. Anyway, we are on there, me and Dogmatica, and that is that's twitter.com/Pyromaniac. But instead of the IAC, we go 1AC. So it's PYROMAN, the number 1AC. Anyway, just gonna interlude with a couple of promotional type of internal action items for you guys, so to speak, within this week in review and video, and let's get back into some of the other stuff that was happening in week 2. The games were very long, and that had a lot to do with the refs. It's getting worse. It's not getting better. Read an article today by an old ref who retired in '99 saying that Goodall doesn't give a crap. Says the situation's going to get worse. These refs are at the peak. They're as engaged right now as they will be, but it's going to keep getting worse and worse. And I agree. I mean, just seeing the way that these coaches and these players are able to, bewilder and just these refs and bully them. And one thing that Shady McCoy said is that a ref said that he was on his fantasy team, and I think they got rid of that guy. They had to move another ref that was gonna be a referee in the New Orleans Saints game, but he on his Facebook page he's wearing Saints gear. It's all these kind of things that it's very unprofessional. The NFL is holds itself to such a high regard, and Goodell's whole thing is just being very staunch and very amazing for being behind such a great shield, the NFL, and yet they're willing to just throw out these hacks into the game that are gonna get someone hurt. They're making the games longer. That game on Monday night was painful. It was painful to watch. These guys are out of their element, and I'm not trying to be a dick, but it's not easy to become an NFL referee. It's the best of the best are there, and you gradually build your way from the bottom once you're in the NFL to the top. And a lot of the games that are holding down the fort on all these games have done hundreds of games. And anyway, I just think it's sick of talking about it. We talked about it on the podcast as well. It's just so stupid with the money that the NFL makes, and especially what they've recouped, as we talked on the podcast many times, within that collective bargaining agreement last year. They made so much money. So why not just pay these guys the money they're due? Houdini's escape this week, it'll probably be delivered and put up on the site on Saturday, is about the referees and how what's going on with that whole situation. Kind of breaks down actually the money, the sheer dollars that they're asking for, and the NFL is being bullheaded and saying, no, we're not going to give it to you. We'd rather go with these stiffs. Anyway, I think it's going to change pretty soon. I've read that they're signed through week 5, but just get the deal done. Let's get the big guys, the big guns, the real deals back on the field. Keep everyone happier. And right now, it's just not working. Especially at a player safety level, I'm just a little bit nervous for it. Through 2 weeks, Megatron, he's got no TDs. That's interesting. It's a guy that was going 4, 5, 6 in the first round, draft pick, going really high. No touchdowns through week 1. It's a little nerve-wracking for people that went that high on him. But the people right in front of him took Brady and Aaron Rodgers, and they're just shitting it just as much. So, plays of the week that I saw this week. I mean, Reggie Bush made 2 amazing runs. One for a touchdown and one was just a nice long gainer. Maybe they were both touchdowns, but wow, Reggie Bush. We talked him up as someone, about a month and a half ago that could explode this year, and he's doing everything he can to live up to that hype and that, that dream he mentioned in the offseason of trying to rush, be a leader in the league and rushing for the season. And it could happen. He looks good. I'm happy for him, hard-working guy. Another great play, Demaryius Thomas's end zone catch where he pitter-pattered both feet down. Initially not called a touchdown, but overturned. Great friggin' play by Demaryius Thomas. The fact that he's got that kind of body control, that kind of speed, that kind of size, wow, no matter what happened with Peyton Manning, and I won't even mention it, but whatever happened in that game, Demaryius Thomas is a horse, and that's just, that's really impressive to see. Amen to Peyton for having such a weapon, and I love Decker too. Another amazing play, I had a guy this week that played Andrew Hawkins against me, and you know, it's kind of like, wow, that's a ballsy play. Wow. Third quarter comes around, that touchdown that he made and those jukes and running all over the field, that was incredible. This guy's pretty special. He's been out of the league, Toledo guy that's just, he's a stud. It's a great story. I feel like he's going to be pretty much a great play and a great pickup. So if he's not taken in your league and you've got a deep bench, you need help at wide receiver, this guy's going to be legit. Another great play, Cam Newton run. That guy's awesome. I mean, let's just say it right there. The guy is friggin' awesome. It's impossible not to love watching that guy play. But the way he can gallop down the sideline is in the speed he's got and that size. He just looks so big out there. He looks so big. That play on the sideline was incredible. I thought he was going to bust it all the way. He got pushed out of bounds, but legit stud, fantasy dynamo. I mean, I was a little bit scared. I knew that he was going to go high in being the first round pick, and I wasn't going to be the guy to take him. So I just kind of knew a long time ago he wasn't going to be on my team, and I'm fine with that. But as a fan of fantasy football, as a figurehead, someone that thinks he knows what he's talking about, he's just really dynamic. So that's plays of the week. You know, guys, a lot of people have asked me about LaFell. Should I drop Stevie Johnson for LaFell? What do you think about this guy? Should I be open to dropping Torrey Smith? People are worried about Torrey Smith, another guy that Pyro we know. Dogmatica and Houdini definitely were promoting the Torrey Smith bandwagon, but I think it's too early to jump off on that. And I don't know. Maybe ask questions and comment on this post. Please, when I post it on Facebook and when I post it on Pyromaniac, please put in comments whether you think, I'd love to hear your opinion on that. Is Torrey Smith worth dropping for a Brandon LaFell? Obviously, one's doing better so far this year, but still, Torrey Smith, I think, has got the bigger upside, and, we'll see. I guess they're all in the same batch, so LaFell, good play. If he's available, he's been in Houdini's starting lineup for 2 weeks, and I know Houdini's quite happy about it. So another thing that I wanted to quickly mention is, we are kind of looking for passionate people at Pyro that can potentially be authors and write some op-ed pieces, help us out with the Pyropedia movement we're working on for the teams and player pages, and a lot of, there's a lot of stuff that here at Pyro that, we're looking for some passionate partners, that people that want to join in, and it's something where if you know your stuff in fantasy football or are crazy about an NFL franchise or NFL just in general, and you just digest all this stuff, and a passion of yours or a desire of yours is becoming a sports writer or being a part of a startup and being a part of something that maybe you're listening to this on a regular basis and are passionate about and love and are proud of what we're up to. I hear that you say that all the time through emails and Twitter, and we get a lot of great notes, and we appreciate that. When we read those, I send them to all the guys, and we're all really fired up to say, hey, wow, you're onto something special there, Pyro. Keep it up, love you, and all that stuff. It's very inspiring. It makes it, when we're working so hard on all this stuff, it makes it worth it. So anyway, went on a little bit of a rant, but we're looking for some people that want to help us, some more content people, and get your name out there, get some pieces. And it's really just to promote yourself and learn and be a part of something right now. We're not planning on doing a pay for piece play like we've done potentially in the past. But anyway, hit me up, contact at Pyromaniac.com, Noonan at Pyromaniac.com. Either way, if you're interested, hit me up. Anyway, another thing that I think is something of note is that some of the injuries that are already coming into play. You've got guys that are coming back from injury like an AP that are looking better than you could have ever imagined. You've got a guy like, Charles, who's been all right, but it looks like he's got the burst. He's made a couple long runs, but he hasn't been doing very well overall, nor has that Kansas City team. You've got Sean Green, just got a concussion last week. You got Revis. We don't need to talk about him because he's defense necessarily, but you've got Green, who maybe that opens an opportunity for Bilal Powell. I don't know. I know he did all right. Passed a little bit of a concussion test yesterday, but who's to say? You can't. They're not going to mess around with these things anymore. The way you've got the junior Seaus and you've got the Dewersons and all that stuff. And one thing, side note, that in the week in review thing, it's awesome that the helmet at the middle of the field for the San Diego Chargers has a little black sticker on the back, the one on the field, for Junior Seau, number 55. And they've got a lot of stuff littered and signage around the stadium, paying homage to Junior Seau. And that's a tragic story that happened, this offseason. And wow, it's pretty crazy. So, but very cool to have that and see that when you're watching a game in San Diego. Other injuries, and certain things that can happen, I don't know. We don't need to talk about injuries too much. As we've mentioned before, as I've talked about before, they just happen. They happen in the sport. So when you got to be smart about not taking guys that always get injured, because there's a trend there. But when you're drafting running backs, the odds are that at some point, if you keep drafting the same running backs, one of them's going to get injured. And with these days, with these huge guys, it's usually an ACL and MCL. So if it's above the waist and it's an elbow like Amendola, who looks great as well, or it's a shoulder like Sidney Rice, those kind of injuries are great. When it's two knees like Kenny Britt, it's a little more worrisome. But we'll see. From what I'm hearing, Adrian Peterson's going to get the normal workload this week. So they obviously are thinking that this guy's, excuse me, doing better and ready to take the old AP workhorse load. Anyway, let's move on from injuries. Actually, a couple more injuries. Garcon still got that foot injury that sucked. I was all high on this guy all preseason. Had a great first quarter of the first game, but he's got this toe. Hakeem Nicks out. He's out this Thursday. Not playing. Which is crazy. So tomorrow night against the Panthers, you will not see Hakeem Nicks. Owners last week got a huge game out of him, and they're like, yes. Dogmatic even said to me, we were watching the game, he's like, that's not too bad, because I bitch slap him all the time. He's like, no, it's not too bad, it's not too bad. I'm like, you'll see. Enjoy it now. And look, he's out this week. So anyway, got Dwyer, another guy that I was high on. I started him in one league because I was a little weak at running back in my run and shoot, so I play 4 wide receivers and only do one running back in this league. Garcon was hurt, so I kind of took out that situation and went standard 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and I played Dwyer, and he got the opportunities, but then he got turf toe. So friggin' turf toe and D-Rex are not friends right now. But I'm sure a lot of you guys are in the same company. So we'll see. Hopefully those guys get healthy. Mikel LaSure supposed to start getting some opportunities here. Whatever they're doing right now, it ain't working. I don't think Kevin Smith looks that great. So Mikel LaSure going to come back. He's probably smoking grass right now, but he's going to get some opportunities in the NFL on the Detroit Lions in the next handful of weeks. And if he starts lighting it up, wow, keep an eye on that guy. He's available probably in a lot of bye weeks or a lot of waiver wires. Bye weeks are coming, okay? Week 4, you've got Pittsburgh and Indianapolis have their bye week. Prepare for that. Start thinking now. If you've got guys on that team, who's going to back it up? Figure it all out now. Don't wait till the last minute. I'll give you a little story here, and I'm not proud of it. This week, I waited to the last second in my least important league. I'm sorry to say it, but waited to the last second to make a change, and I had to make some significant changes because Garcon was out. Last minute, Antonio Gates was hurt. I had to make these changes. I screwed up. Wasn't able to pick up a guy in time. I was doing this literally at 11:58 Chicago time, and I ended up playing Garcon this week and didn't get in another guy in the lineup because I didn't have enough depth because I'm an idiot, and it was a super short bench in this league. Anyway, long story short, I started a Garcon this week, and it's unacceptable. And as a professional that's trying to teach you guys how to do it, I was embarrassed and pissed off all Sunday, and look what happens. I ended up losing by 2 points. All I had to do was play a serviceable guy that could get 25 yards, and I win that week, and I deserve it. So that's from the heart to you guys. I screwed up. I'm not going to let that happen again. I was embarrassed. It's been 3 years since I've made a knucklehead play like that in fantasy, and it's unacceptable. So I apologize to myself, and I apologize to you, but it's going to make me a better person. But what a jackass I am for doing that. Target guys. Reggie Wayne and Victor Cruz are leading the league in targets. No shock there. These guys are going to probably be there all week. Victor Cruz just looks like he's going to get just so many opportunities. Obviously, he wasn't dropping passes this week. Had the long bomb, so you know that the explosion factor is still there. That guy is bona fide stud. Wow. Maybe it's going to be harder this week with Nick's out, but I don't think so. You got Harvin and Amendola. They're getting lots of looks, lots of touches. Harvin's doing it. If you're in a league that gives rewards for, giving points for return yards, he's a no-brainer. He had a nice return this week, but he's getting the opportunities. They're running it to him. It's pretty ridiculous how many opportunities Percy Harvin's going to be given within that Vikings offense to light it up and score you fantasy points. I love that guy. Fantasy football and rookies are not they are congruent now. They work together. You can be a rookie and score fantasy points, and that is something I'm just going to cover quickly. Whedon and Richardson finally come around on Cleveland. Everyone that owned those guys was scared if you were in a must-play rookie league. I got Richardson pretty late, but after that first game, I'm like, geez, no wonder he was sitting around there. Good times. Obviously, RG3, I think, is probably leading all quarterbacks except for maybe Matt Ryan in fantasy points. He's just a beast, taking off for Cam Newton's left off. You got Doug Martin, looks great. Luck is going to be a great player and putting up fantasy points. I mean, it's pretty exciting. I don't think there's any doubt that you can grab a rookie player these days in your draft, and you can get them a little bit later because people are scared that they're rookies and they put up points. I'm telling you, an RB2 with a Doug Martin or a Richardson doesn't look that bad right now. Is it the best in the league? No, but these guys are going to score some points. Anyway, I wanted to make a quick mention for this place. This is Fat Pour, opened in Chicago last weekend. I helped them do this logo, do all their branding, do the interior design, doing the menus, the Marcom, helping with verbiage. We got amazing posters all over the place. Great concepts and littered throughout the place, and it was awesome to work with Ryan Marks and Stephen Muller, as well as the Chaz Bender guys in that project. But it opened. It's over in Damon and Division. It is awesome. There's a 2-story keg room, 50 beers on tap. They got table taps. They got awesome 90-inch TVs for football and all that stuff everywhere. It's airy. It's got tons of light, but at the same time, it's very industrial. Really, really cool place. So if you live in Chicago and you're looking for a cool place to go hang out and something new, go check out Fat Pour. It's 2005 West Division, and they're also going to be guys that are going to be advertising on my site and helping me promote Pyro in that bar, and some of their other bars, the Big Onion Tavern Group guys, to get the Pyro word out there on the Sunday games. So awesome place. Go check it out if you're in Chicago, which you know that we're here local. I know we've got a lot of fans here. Go check it out. All right, that's sick. Anyway. Let's get back into, let's do a quick thing on Victor Cruz. Houdini sent me a text on the game day. We weren't together. And he goes, know your league. And I'm like, huh? Question mark? Texting. And he goes, Victor Cruz scoring. Check this out. Know your league. And this is a great Houdini anecdote. And he's always texting like a madman during the games. No one loves football more than that guy. This text goes, 43 points for Victor Cruz. He's got him in all his league. 43 points in his Dynasty League for Victor Cruz on Sunday. Wow, awesome game. In another league of his, Victor Cruz, same player in their scoring system, had 33 points. So, wow, that's 10 points cheaper. That sucks. It's a lot better getting 43 than 33. And then in this ESPN league that we do, he only scored 23. So know your league and know the kind of guy you're going after. And in this situation, it doesn't matter you're going for Victor Cruz, but it's kind of crazy to see that kind of discrepancy in scoring in that situation for one player that can just run that gamut of 23 points or 43 points. I like always scoring more. It's more fun. Why not? Anyway, this week too, I went 0-4. Literally went 0-4. Made some mistakes, but my team that blew up. I went 4-0 in week 1. It was the inversion of it, and a lot of the guys that didn't score last week had good games this week, and the ones that did in week 1 kind of shit the bed. 4-0, 0-4. So that means I'm 1-1 in every league, and I'm not happy about it. In my main league, my 20-year-old league, first time ever, the Rain Man gave me a stat over email today. First time ever, everyone in the league through 2 games is 1-1. We've never had a 2. We've always had a 2-0 team, or a number of them. Didn't have it this year. So that shows something about what's going on. Mark Schlereth's story was kind of funny. I read it on Deadspin. He pees in a closet because he's too lazy to take off all his sound equipment and while he's doing these NFL Live and whatever shows. They've got a closet. They put towels on the floor of the closet so he can pee. It's because he brings this equipment to the actual bathroom and everyone hears him pee. So they've just done this workaround. They call him. They say he's a little bit lazy. His name is Stinky. Anyway, his daughter's hot, but Schlereth himself. Story that I just read today on him, it's pretty crazy. Vince Young, he's broke. He's suing his uncle that was his manager and some other agent, money advisor guy. Vince Young, man, that's crazy to think that in 2005 that guy was running for the championship against the most dominant college team ever, and here we are, and it's 2012. That's 7 years later, and he's out of the league, broke. I don't know. I guess he's got a lot of assets. He's got a sausage company. He's got a steakhouse. He's got some other stuff. But overall, dude, I mean, Jesus, shows you how fleeting it is and how these guys, you got to take care of your money. Brent Selleck versus Martellus Bennett. This week, at the last second, I put in Martellus Bennett, and then Selleck was lighting it up, as you know. And I got super frustrated. I was kind of pissed for the first few quarters, a little bit also because I was playing Garcon in that one league, as I mentioned earlier, but got a little pissed, and then in the fourth quarter, Martellus started scoring, and he outscored Selleck. These guys are available on most waiver wires right now. Selleck, I've been high on. I didn't take, in a lot of leagues, I didn't go for a tight end. I just knew he was going to be good. He's lived up to it. Martellus Bennett, I mean, Eli Manning's been waiting for a guy like this. He looks like they're both elite athletes. Great lower end tight ends that are going to be top 5 guys. They're going to be right there at the top, especially with a guy like Hernandez going down. Anyway, the Black Unicorn, Martellus Bennett, we're working on the character for him right now. Sick nickname. We're going to have a one-off for him where he's going to be a Black Unicorn. That's getting worked on. Anyway, came across this Gangnam Style video, which is so hilarious. I can't even get over it. That video, go check that out. Gangnam Style. I guess it's the #1 selling single on iTunes right now. This guy's just a sensation. That video is friggin' hilarious. That dance move he's doing. You're seeing all this stuff, and that was Martellus Bennett's nice touchdown. He was doing the Gangnam Style. It was friggin' hilarious. You gotta check that out if you don't know what I'm talking about. Right now, I'm gonna give a bitch slap to 2 guys. Actually, 3 guys. I'm going to bitch slap Ryan Williams. All you have to do is carry the ball and not fumble against the Patriots. And what do? You're holding the ball out there and it gets hit out and you're flabbergasted that it got fumbled. You're playing with guys that are faster, smarter than you're used to. The fact that Gostenkowski missed that field goal, you're the luckiest bastard of all time. I would cut your ass. You can't do that. Same goes for Josh Morgan. Come on, man. You're making that play. You're throwing the ball. Cortland Finnegan got in your head after you'd said all week that you weren't going to let it happen. It's a bitch play. I'm surprised that Shanahan kept you on the team. I feel like you could probably get better wide receivers out there. If you're going to do that, you are an idiot. You're lucky you're still on the team. Santonio Holmes, worst body language ever, half-assed going for a ball that was thrown a little bit behind him, and his defender was hustling and almost intercepted it, and then he's looking, stomping around, the worst body language. Cut that fucking guy, Jets. Cut him. I mean, the whole thing with Tebow and how Sanchez was floored, and then Sanchez being like, no, I wasn't floored. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Santonio Holmes, he's not that good. Most overrated, most overpaid guy. He's just a headache in the locker room. He can't keep his mouth shut. He's got no loyalty to anyone, especially within within that Jets locker room, which is so important. He's a piece of shit. I hate that guy. New rules. I'm going to do like a new rule like Bill Maher type thing, and then I'm going to close this thing out. Cutler's a baby. You know, the whole thing with him pushing Webb, the whole thing with him, you know, having the worst energy of all time and being so pouty and just being a little bitch in game time. We saw week 1, everything was smooth sailing, and everyone's like the new Cutler, me included. I was like, wow, this is great. I can't wait for this. You see what happens under adversity. He crumbles. I wish I wouldn't say this, but Cutler, you have got to really, really, really dig down. And I don't know. I just don't think he's got that demeanor to be a guy that can go with the flow, be a leader, stand up, and just take charge and also take accountability of your actions. When you throw an interception to a guy that's double, triple covered because you're trying to out-arm strength a defending set, you're an idiot. It's not anybody else's fault. So, Cutler, you got a lot of work to do. I'm nervous about the Bears. I think it's hard to think that they're going to really pull it around with that offensive line. But just Cutler and where's the bond? Where's the love with the team? I just don't see it. It seems like, you know, you got Forte's injured now already again. I don't know. It's going to be really interesting. I mean, Marshall's dropped 3 touchdown passes. I have him on a lot of leagues. He was a 3rd-ranked wide receiver. He's awesome. He's going to get these opportunities, but he is allergic. He's literally allergic to catching touchdown passes. It is like he must. It's the weirdest thing. I don't understand it. Hopefully that Julio Jones drop, which made me lose 3 leagues. If he had caught that touchdown instead of that drop, I win 3 of my leagues. That's fantasy frustration right there for you. But it happens. You don't put your head down, you just persevere and you stick ahead. But hopefully that Marshall and Julio Jones, guys that have been known for dropping the ball, are not going to continue down this road. Anyway, that's it, man. That is I covered it all. I got all my stuff. That's week 2, week in review. We got a great week 3 coming up. Our website is about to get disgustingly filled with a ton of content, both op-ed stuff, player rankings from Dog. We got a podcast that I just put up this morning. Going to put it on put that up along with targets. I'm going to put this week in review is up. So good times on our site. Hit us up with the questions. We love it. The emails, the Facebook, Pyromaniac.com. Facebook.com/Pyromaniac. Hit us up on that because we're always posting stuff. Anyway, guys, appreciate it. As usual, this got a little longer than I wanted. I don't even know if YouTube's going to let me post something up that's 33 minutes long. But let's see. Hopefully we got the whole thing up. Thanks, guys. D-Rex, Week in Review, out.